Most interview candidates think they're using the STAR method correctly. They're not. And that misunderstanding is exactly why they are getting low scores. Knowing the STAR method isn't the same as using it properly. And in interviews, that difference can cost you the job. This is Joe from Interview Gold. Over the past 20 years, I have coached thousands of candidates into top jobs. And almost everyone I coach says, I already use STAR. But once we break their answers down, it's clear they are missing key parts the interviewers actually score. In this video, I will show you how to use the STAR method correctly. Stay with me, and by the end you will know just how to make your answers stand out and how to boost your scores that guarantee job offers. And if you are new to the channel, subscribe now for more great interview tips. And in the comments below, let me know what you find most difficult about competency interviews, and I will create a video all about that for you. What are STAR interview questions? Like competency or behavioural interview questions, the STAR questions ask you to tell the interviewer about a time you demonstrated a particular skill or behaviour. They are usually phrased like, tell me about a time when, give an example of when you, describe a situation where you. They're used because employers believe that past behaviour predicts future performance. What is the STAR method? Okay, let's dive into more detail about the STAR method. So STAR is a way to structure your answer. Think of it as telling a short, structured story with a beginning, middle and end. This doesn't just organise your thoughts. It actually makes it easy for the interviewers to score you. Let's look at what each part means. Situation. This is where you set the context. Keep it short, just 1 or 2 sentences. Focus on what the backdrop was so that your interviewer understands why your contribution mattered. Task. What were you responsible for? What were you tasked with? This tells the interviewers what was expected of you. Action. Now this is the most important part. This is where you will score points. So detail the individual steps you took in logical order. The interviewers will be listening here for evidence of the competency and of positive behaviours. Finally, result. Wrap up with what happened because of your actions, ideally with metrics, numbers. Feedback is good also. Show clear outcomes. Why so many people struggle with STAR? Why do so many candidates fail even when they have good experience? 3 big issues often come up. Poor structure, long rambling answers without clear focus, vague actions. We did this instead of what you did, and no measurable result. No clear outcome to score against. Interviewers want evidence, not vague storytelling. They're listening for specific behaviours and strengths. How to make your STAR answers really stand out. Let's turn good answers into great answers. Firstly, choose the right example. Your example should be relevant, recent, and complex enough to show multiple behaviours. Focus on your actions. Every time you talk about a situation, use I statements, not we. Interviewers need to hear your contribution. Show impact. Numbers, feedback, improvements, percentages. This gives evidence interviewers can score. And overall, tell a story. Start with context, build to your actions, and finish with a strong, clear result. Okay, here is a 250-word example of a STAR interview answer for the competency communication. Question is, tell me about a time when you communicated successfully with an individual or group. Recently, in my current role as an admin assistant, I researched, prepared, and delivered an outstanding presentation to my team. Task. The objective was to inform, persuade, and provide recommendations about recent trends in social mobility and equality, and how we could leverage this to boost our turnover. Action. I researched online and offline sources, and I identified 40 to use. I created an Excel database and I categorized the articles, tagging them to show what they included. For example, many were about gender pay caps. Others dealt with poverty rates, both urban, rural and age. I analysed this data and I identified core messages by subject matter, and I produced a commentary. I tailored the report so that it would be informative to all of the audience. I knew the team liked lots of visuals, so I created a PowerPoint presentation that included graphs and charts. I used straightforward language and avoided acronyms. I made sure there was at least one area which related to everyone in the audience and showed the cross connections between areas such as poverty and gender. I had very positive feedback from my manager and other members of the team. I really enjoyed the experience. I found it challenging, but I also realised that my own enthusiasm carried it through, and I was pleased to learn that they were going to implement some of the next steps that I recommended. Notice the use of the STAR method correctly, with most of the answer given to the actions part. Remember, this is where you will score the points. If you find it difficult to create strong answers, take a look at the Interview Gold platform. It creates brilliant high-scoring STAR examples tailored to you and your target role, and showing the behaviours interviewers actually want to see. See more in the links below. Here are 7 key strategies to remember when answering STAR questions. Top interview coaches recommend these, including myself. Use real examples, not invented ones. Avoid stock answers, or tailor them to yourself. Keep all answers relevant and detailed. Check the job requirements before you prepare. Always use I and not we. And review your CV for good story material. Practice with bullet points, not scripts. This sounds more natural. These strategies will help you answer like a pro. So just to summarise, STAR-based interview questions can be answered perfectly when you know what is expected. Thank you for watching.